He sat at the table alone, a bouquet wilting beside a half-empty cup of coffee. The restaurant lights reflected in his glassy eyes, not from sadness, but something deeper emptiness. People whispered around him, "That's Adrian Cole, the youngest billionaire CEO in the city." Yet tonight, he looked like any ordinary man who'd been stood up, until a poor girl, lost and flustered, sat down across from him by mistake, changing both of their lives forever. The rain outside beat softly against the restaurant's glass windows as she entered, soaked, shivering, and clutching a torn purse. Her name was Lily Hart. She wasn't supposed to be there. She had come to return a food delivery bag she'd found outside, but her vision blurred from the rain, her mind fogged from exhaustion. When the hostess gestured toward the corner table, she thought she was being led to the customer who'd misplaced their order. And so, Lily sat down. "Sorry I'm late," she whispered with a nervous smile. Adrian looked up, startled. For a moment, he said nothing. His date, an arranged meeting set up by his board, hadn't shown. Yet here was this drenched stranger, cheeks flushed from cold, eyes unsure but kind. Something about her awkwardness, her humility, made him forget about everything else. "You're not what I expected," Adrian said slowly. "Neither are you," she replied softly, assuming he was the man who'd ordered food. He chuckled, really chuckled, for the first time in months. Instead of correcting her, he decided to see where this went. Maybe it was boredom, maybe fate. But for the first time in years, Adrian felt alive. They talked about everything and nothing. Lily spoke about her part-time jobs, her dreams of becoming a teacher, her struggles to pay rent. Adrian, careful not to reveal who he truly was, spoke of working for a large company and how empty success could sometimes feel. When she laughed, he forgot the world outside existed. When she frowned, he wanted to fix it. But as the clock struck 9, reality returned. Lily's phone buzzed, a reminder that her bus would leave in 10 minutes. She stood, apologizing for taking up his time. Adrian rose too, his usual cold composure completely gone. "Wait," he said, pulling out the bouquet meant for his no-show date. "You might as well take these. They shouldn't go to waste." Her eyes widened. "I can't. These look expensive. They're just flowers," he said gently. "But they'd mean something if they went with you." She hesitated, then smiled. The kind of smile that could melt ice from stone. "Thank you, whoever you are." When she left, Adrian sat back down. For a long moment, he simply stared at the door she disappeared through. His heart ached, not from loneliness, but from the strange feeling that he'd just let something rare slip away. The next day, Lily returned to her usual life, balancing jobs, dodging rent notices, and helping her sick mother. She often thought about that dinner, about the kind man who'd listened to her as though her words mattered. She didn't even know his name. Meanwhile, in his glass tower above the city, Adrian couldn't stop thinking about her either. His meetings blurred together. Numbers, contracts, deals. It all felt meaningless. He ordered his assistant to find the delivery company from the night before, under the guise of retrieving a lost item. But no one knew her. She was a ghost in his perfect, polished world. Weeks passed. Then one morning, while Adrian was visiting a charity event his company sponsored, he saw her again. Lily, standing at the volunteer booth, wearing a faded blue sweater and a shy smile, helping serve food to the homeless. Without hesitation, he walked straight toward her. She looked up and froze. "You," he smiled, this time with no lies between them. "I never got your name that night." "Lily," she said softly. "I didn't expect to see you again." "Neither did I," he admitted. "But I've been looking." When she realized who he really was, the CEO whose face filled magazines and news feeds, she stepped back in disbelief. "You're him." "It's Adrian Cole." "I am," he said quietly. "But the man you met that night, that's who I really am." She shook her head. "You shouldn't be here talking to someone like me." Adrian's voice broke just slightly. "Someone like you is exactly what I've been missing." Their worlds couldn't have been more different. His built on power and wealth, hers on survival and dreams. Yet somehow, they fit. Slowly, cautiously, they began to see each other again. Not in five-star restaurants, but in quiet corners of the city, bookshops, street cafes, and park benches where no one recognized him. Lily's kindness grounded him. Her honesty cut through the noise of his life. She showed him what it meant to be human again, to laugh without calculation, to care without reason. But love between two worlds is never simple. When the media discovered their relationship, headlines exploded. Billionaire CEO dating poor waitress. Critics tore her apart online. Adrian's board threatened him, saying she was a distraction. Lily tried to walk away, thinking she was ruining his reputation. That night, Adrian went live on national television, unexpectedly, during a press conference about a merger. Cameras flashed as he stood up and said, "I was supposed to talk about profit and strategy tonight. But what's the point of leading a company if I can't lead my own heart? I found someone who reminded me what real value is, and it's not in money. It's in people like her." Lily, watching from her small apartment, broke down in tears. He had chosen her, openly proudly, months later. The same restaurant where they first met was decorated for a quiet engagement dinner. This time, Adrian wasn't waiting alone. Lily walked in wearing a simple dress, the same nervous smile on her face, and he rose to meet her. "Remember the first night you sat here?" he said softly. "You thought you'd made a mistake." She laughed. "Maybe I did." He took her hand, eyes glistening. "Then let's make every mistake together." Outside, the city lights shimmered like stars. Two lives that never should have crossed had found their way to each other. By accident, by fate, by love that refused to let go. And as they danced in that quiet restaurant, where a poor girl once sat down by mistake and a lonely CEO finally found his heart, the world faded away, leaving only them, and the kind of story that never really ends.